Here we go once again, riding on in. It's the outlaw of college football, and you guys and gals out there known as the Outlaw Posse. Some of you's even in the Outlaw Posse member program, which is $2.99 a month, 75 cents a week, just to have a bottle of water for the Outlaw. Just hit that join button over by the subscribe button. If you can't do that, just like, share, comment, and subscribe. Subscribe. Those are the big four, and all absolutely free. I just wanted to come in here today and give you guys and gals a little taste of some college football, preseason news, recruiting, and predictions. And we can basically just talk about whatever y'all want to talk about until we can get to the beginning of the season in late August. I think that's when the first games are starting. Now, I think week 0 is like the week, like 2 weeks before the end of August, but there ain't many good games that week. I think Kansas and Iowa State, and that's about it. So far in here, we have Kevron Harris. He's the first batter up. I always get the first batter up. Today it's Kevron Harris. He is our resident Clemsonite. He is a Clemson Tiger. Good evening, buddy. Good evening to you as well. Eric Taco Marino is also in the house. He's got his badge. He's deputized. He is in the Outlaw Posse. Like I mentioned before, if you want to be an Outlaw Posse and get a badge like Eric, get deputized. Get a random 4 horseman shout out on the actual podcast and sometimes on here. And possibly the comment of the day. I'll give the random 4 horseman shout out later. But today we got some recruiting news for a number of teams. Oklahoma got a big recruit today, committed to them, as well as Ohio State and a few other teams, Michigan, Texas A&M, LSU, all of them have been doing pretty good on the recruiting trail this off season. We're also going to talk about the Lindys College Football Magazine. Got a lot of interesting topics in there. We'll go over that. So y'all tell me, is there any particular topic that you want to touch on right now before we get into the stuff that I pulled up? Is there any questions that y'all have to ask of me? Storm 4601's in the house also. Hey, Outlaw. As well as Rick Birdwell. What's up? So let's go ahead and pull up the Hayes Faucet rundown of recruiting that's been going on the past week or two. And a lot of good news for a lot of the blue bloods and a lot of the upper echelon blue blood programs. Let's go ahead and bring up old Hayes Faucet. He's a pretty good guy to follow on Twitter, aka X. See if y'all can see that. All right. Right here, breaking news, class of 2026, Cameron Brickle the second has committed to Ohio State. Details on 3 recruits. He's a 6'3", 305-pound defensive lineman from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Chose the Buckeyes over Maryland and Florida State. He said, get it out of the mud, time to work. So a big pickup for the Ohio State Buckeyes. As you can see here, that will also let you pull up some of his stats. See if that's pulling it up for y'all. I'm going to get to Oklahoma and Alabama and everybody else here in just a second. This was the first one that popped up. No, they don't let you pull it up like that. Okay, I see. All right. But, yeah. So it looks like Ohio State just keeps chugging along. They're getting a lot of good recruits in the offseason, of course. I mean, they've got one of the biggest payrolls in college football. But let's not hate on Ohio State, okay? We all are paying players now, and we've probably all honestly been paying players in some way probably since the 1920s. So, yeah. All right. Now, scroll on down here, we'll see that we have Hayes Faucet also breaking some news for the Oklahoma Sooners. And they have 4-star offensive tackle Deacon Schmidt has committed to Oklahoma. He tells on 3 recruits. The 6'5", 320-pound offensive tackle is from Windsor, Colorado, and he chose the Sooners over Colorado with con time. Deion Sanders couldn't con his way into getting this recruit, as Oklahoma got chosen over him, the home state, and the Alabama Crimson Tide also was in the running for it, but he chose Oklahoma over those two. Says here, Bo got himself a bodyguard. Boomer. So that's always good to know. Also going on down here a little ways more, and if you want to see a few more of these recruits, Georgia is the only school to land 2 number 1 ranked recruits at their respective positions in the 2026 class. They got the number 1 quarterback in Jerry Curtis, and they got James J.J. Johnson, the number 1 defensive lineman. So, once again, like I said, the Blue Bloods seem to be chugging along in Oklahoma. They're doing a lot of good recruiting. I got a lot of good vibes from this refurbished staff that Brent Venables has coming in with Ben Arbuckle. Almost called him Brent. Ben Arbuckle and John Mateer coming over from Washington State, and now they've delved into some pretty good recruits. They got them an offensive tackle now to protect these good quarterbacks that they have actually gotten now. So that's a good thing for Mateer going forward. Now, the guy may not be here when Mateer's here. Mateer may just do 1 year at Oklahoma and be gone. But regardless, whoever comes in and replaces Mateer, seems like they are going out of their way to make sure that these quarterbacks are protected at Oklahoma. All right, big one, says Joe Rogan for Hayes Faucet on here. Also, breaking news, 4-star quarterback Oscar Rios has committed to Arizona. Probably not too many people interested in that. 4-star Texas A&M wide receiver commit Madden Williams has shut down his recruiting. He took official visits to Arizona State, Washington, and Florida State this summer. I'm ready to go bring back a national championship to Aggie Land, says Madden Williams. Well, good luck in that, Madden, because Texas A&M ain't won a national title since I think it's 1939. It's either 1939 or 1936. For all you history buffs out there, drop it in the comment section. Let me know if I'm right. Was it 1939 or 1936 that Texas A&M last won a national title? Texas A&M wins national titles about as often as Haley Comet circles the earth. So, yeah, good luck with that, Madden. But, hey, got to give it to him. The guy's got confidence, right? Sort of like that Florida State quarterback that was running his mouth earlier this week, Thomas Castellanos, who basically said that he was going to use Alabama to launch his platform to be the next great quarterback at Florida State, maybe even the next Heisman Trophy winner at Florida State. He's got a lot of confidence for a guy that didn't do very much at UCF or Boston College. So I'm going to give y'all a few more recruits, and then we'll get to the comment section, and y'all give me some thoughts on what you think about the upcoming college football season, maybe some topics that you want to talk about. It says here, breaking, 4-star offensive tackle, Malachi Lee has committed to Michigan. He tells On 3 Sports. 6'7", 320-pound offensive tackle from Kanoe, Hawaii, chose the Wolverines over Georgia, Georgia, Texas, and Alabama. So that's a big, big get for the Michigan Wolverines, who are going through a lot of turmoil with a lot of old shadiness coming up about Jim Harbaugh and his staff. As y'all may have heard, one of his assistants, I think an offensive staffer, I don't know if he was the offensive coordinator or not, was basically looking at some of the players' personal information and personal photos. Whether they were naked or not, I don't know. I'm hearing that it's something like that. So this guy might be another one of those Jerry Sandusky perverts that used to work for the Michigan Wolverines. And the bad thing about it is they're saying that Jim Harbaugh knew about it and kept the guy on his staff. Sort of like Joe Paterno did with Jerry Sandusky, in my opinion. But that's a few of the big commits that I thought you might be interested in. As you scroll on down here, as you see here, flipped his commitment from SMU to Michigan. So Michigan got another guy, Markel Dabney. Flipped his commitment from SMU to Michigan. He's a 6'1", 210 linebacker. So Michigan Wolverines are chugging along too, trying to get back some of their mojo from the national championship they won 2 years ago. What do y'all think about the Dean Schmidt commit? All you Oklahoma fans in there, it seems like it's a pretty big get for Oklahoma, considering Colorado and Alabama both wanted this guy very much so. So I'll stop that real quick. Bring it back up the grill. We got 10 people up in here. right now. If you don't mind, jump out, smash the like button, share it out to all your friends and family, and we'll get this party crunk up some more. Now, let's look at this Lindys football magazine. The Lindys magazines came out. I think it was last month they came out. Well, they might have been the early part of June. There's all the predictions and stuff. I'm not gonna let y'all see the top 10 because I might do a reveal. Might do a reveal tomorrow. But yeah, I got all the schedules right here. If y'all want to know anybody who's playing and whatnot, just drop in the comment section. Let me know. It says here the 15 most impactful quarterback transfers. They got all sorts of goodies in here and topics. They got an article about Lindy's list top 10 storylines of 2025, and one of them is on campus with Chapel Bill talking about Bill Belichick coming to North Carolina with his 24-year-old girlfriend. Other storylines, Arch Madness, talking about Arch Manning. Still a football conference, talking about is the SEC in a slump, which is a good question considering the SEC has not won a national title in 2 years. That's sort of silly for them to say that the SEC might be in a slump considering it's only been 2 years. But that's the high bar that everybody set for the SEC, even the SEC people, and especially the SEC haters. Let's see what we got here in the comment section for all these college football fanatics in here. Everybody on this channel, these are some pretty hardcore fans. If you're first time in here, these the people that come on this channel are pretty much college football addicts. I mean, they talk about this stuff 365 days a year in here. But Eric Taco Marino says we need bigger guys on the offensive line, so I'm happy. Fred Begley's in the house. He also has his badge. He's deputized. He's an outlaw. Posse as well. He says, howdy, outlaw. Storm 4601 says, I don't know much about Schmidt, but he's a very large child. Well, he's not a child anymore. I think he's 18, so officially he's a young adult. But, yeah, I get your jest here. Hope my Sooners are in store for a special season. Got to stay healthy, says Sooner Cowboys. And, yeah, that's it goes without saying. Injuries can just completely destroy a team that may be contending for conference championships, even playoff contention, and maybe even contending for the actual national title. It can derail a team from that status to possibly even barely making a bowl or not even making a bowl if you have the right injuries and at the right positions at the right time, especially if it's at one position, like you just get hit there constantly, like Oklahoma did last year at the wide receiver position. Was pretty unfair to really judge anybody last year by the Oklahoma season that they had, in my opinion, because of all the injuries that they did have. Now, we all do have injuries. Everybody says it's just an excuse, but it is an excuse if you're just using a few injuries as the reason why you're losing. But if you have some extenuating circumstances and just a ton of injuries at one position, then I don't really think that's an excuse. That's an actuality and a fact. It says the 15 most impactful quarterback transfers. On here, the number one most impactful quarterback transfer, according to Lindys Magazine, is Carson Beck. He transferred from Georgia to Miami. So, he cashed in on his 7,912 yards passing and 58 career touchdowns for a reported $4 million for Miami for their NIL deal. Number two, John Mater from Washington State goes to Oklahoma. The West Coast top signal caller and one of the premier dual threats in college football had 3,139 yards passing, 826 yards rushing, with 44 total touchdowns. He is ranked the second best quarterback transfer by Lindys. And then there's Nico Amaleva, who went to UCLA. Not sure I agree with that one. I think he may be a flop out there. I don't know if UCLA can protect this guy. His brother also, I don't know his brother's first name, but his brother also transferred out there from Arkansas. He's a quarterback as well. And now Arkansas is actually suing the Amalevas because they took $250,000 from $250,000 from Arkansas. And never played it down. So, yeah, I hope Arkansas wins that lawsuit. Number 4 is Fernando Mendoza. He went to Indiana. He was from California. And number 5, ran out the top 5 for the top quarterback transfers, is Miller Moss, who transferred from USC to Louisville. I mean, USC, the Skittle Shitters, man, they seem to be constantly losing and losing all these top recruits they get. At the quarterback position, I think they've lost like, what, 2 or 3 quarterbacks? I thought this guy was supposed to be the quarterback whisperer. I thought old Linky boy, Stinky Linky out there, as the Oklahoma fans call him with the acronym TBOW, Tebow, the bitch out west, seems like he's losing his quarterback whispering touch. Because whatever he's whispering, they ain't listening. Ever since Mary Kelly Williams fingernails left, he ain't been doing much enough. Nothing. They also have the 15 most impactful non-quarterback transfers. I don't know if y'all want to hear that. Number 1 is Isaiah World. He's an offensive tackle, and he transferred from Nevada to Oregon. Number 2 is Eric Singleton Jr. He played for Georgia Tech, and he transferred to Auburn. Number 3 is Patrick Payton. He's an edge rusher. He transferred from Florida State to LSU. And number 4 is Nick Anderson. He transferred from Oklahoma to LSU. So Nick Anderson jumped from one SEC school to another, as did Jackson Arnold. So I didn't know Nick Anderson went to LSU. So it looks like Oklahoma's got a couple of games on their schedule with a couple of guys that may have a little bit of an axe to grind for y'all, especially Jackson Arnold. Y'all don't want to let Jackson Arnold come into Norman and win that game, because you will never hear the end of it from all your rivals and all your haters, especially those out there like Missouri and Texas and Oklahoma State or Okie Pokey Chokey State, teams like that. They're going to take their shots if they can. And finally, the number 5 top impactful transfer, non-quarterback, is Deuce Robinson, wide receiver. He transferred from USC to Florida State. All right. Jackson Hughes, huh? Fred Begley saying he's seeing 10 wins or more for the Oklahoma Sooners. Storm 4601 says all of college football would give their left one to be the slumping SEC. Exactly. So for them to say that the SEC is slumping, losing their touch, I don't think that's accurate. What they said in that article also is that the SEC is seemingly becoming more of a basketball conference. It's not that the SEC is becoming more of a basketball conference. It's just the SEC has decided they're going to be a football and a basketball league that wins national championships in both of the 2 biggest money-making sports. I've been preaching this for a long time that I wouldn't mind seeing the SEC the next time they do expand, if maybe they went out and got a program that's been known for winning national championships in basketball over the long course of history. Someone like maybe North Carolina, which is the obvious choice that everybody talks about and wants. Even the Big Ten wants North Carolina. And then there's Kansas. While Kansas may not match the southeastern geographical footprint, neither does Missouri. And it would also help Missouri get back a natural rivalry. As you know, them and Kansas had a long-standing rivalry for a long, long time. So, yeah, Kansas would be a great addition to the SEC if we decided to try to expand our portfolio as far as basketball blue bloods. I'm seeing 10 wins or more. I'm just saying I already got that one. All right. And Eric Taco Marino says, Jackson who? Well, if he goes to Norman and beats Oklahoma, and if Oklahoma's struggling for some reason, a lot of people are going to direct that at Brent Venables and his former staff. And this is a big year for Brent Venables. I'm not saying he's going to be fired, but I'm saying that he could be. If things shake out the way they have last 2 out of 3 years, if he goes 6-7 again, it would not surprise me if Oklahoma got rid of him. I think Brent Venables needs to win at least 8, maybe 9 games regular season to keep his job. If he goes 7-6, Maybe they keep him, but I don't know, man. That's a hard call. What do you Oklahoma fans? What say you, Oklahoma fans? It's in the chat section. If Brent Venables does indeed have a 7-6 season, he just modicumly increases his win output, and you can just see a little bit of progression, and he goes 7-6 or 8-5. Does Brent Venables keep his job another year? What does Brent Venables have to do to keep his job? Helmcat is in the house. Welcome in, Helmcat, my brother. I haven't seen you in here in a while. Maybe I got your name mixed up with somebody else. Maybe you're a first-time listener. But if you are, smash that like button, brother, and subscribe to the channel. Those things are absolutely free, my brother, and it'll just notify you when we're up and on the air, bro. But Helmcat says state of Kansas regents, so no on that move. Say no. Okay. You don't like Kansas because they're regents? Explain that to me. I'm not really understanding why that has an effect on your opinion as to why Kansas should be in the SEC. Give me your full explanation on that. I'm curious. I'd like to know what's going on with that because, like I said, I think Kansas would be a great addition. It won't, expand our basketball portfolio. All right. Also in here, in the Lindys Magazine that I have right here, it says 5-year 2 coaches under the gun. Number 1 is Kalen DeBoer. It's his second year. Once again, this topic is 5-year 2 coaches under the gun. The top 5 coaches that are in their second year that could possibly be under the gun. Their number 1 is Kalen DeBoer. It says here he knew what he was getting himself into by following Nick Saban. I get tired of hearing that crap. The whole following a legend crap. Legends have been followed before and people have won. So, Chris Kleiman followed Bill Snyder at Kansas State where nobody had been able to win until Bill Snyder came into the Kansas State program. And Chris Kleiman has come in and won consistently at Kansas State. I think he might have won a Big 12 title because I know they played Alabama in the Sugar Bowl that year. So you can follow a legend. Jimbo Fisher, he followed Bobby Bowden and won a national championship at Florida State. So you can follow a legend. So I don't want to hear that. I just don't want to hear that crap anymore because it's just bogus to me. It can be done. Just got to be the right guy. Number 2, Jed Fish of Washington. He's 6-7. It says the heat isn't quite turned up at Montlake, but Fish's 6-7 debut was less than stellar. There will be plenty of runway to improve, but the Big Ten isn't providing any relief for the Washington Huskies. So Jed Fish is number 2 on the list of second-year coaches that may be in trouble. Number 3 is Sharon Moore of Michigan. He was 8-5 last year. He did beat Ohio State. That will probably give him some leeway this year, unless he just bottoms out and goes 4-9 or 5-8 or something. Number 4 is Brett Brennan of Arizona. He went 4-8 his first year. Says he overachieved at San Jose State, but has not translated to the Power 4. So Brett Brennan at Arizona may be in trouble. Jeff Lebby, Mississippi State, went 2-10 his first year. He was the offensive coordinator at Oklahoma. Some think or feel that maybe he took this job too soon and that maybe he was sort of encouraged to leave Oklahoma because a lot of people was not happy with Jeff Lebby. And I've always actually took up for Jeff Lebby a little bit and people get mad at me, but the guy had a top 5 offense. That's why Mississippi State hired him as a head coach because they were impressed with what he did do. With the limited resources he did have at Oklahoma. He was one of the originals to come in with Brent Venables when the crap that took place, we all know what happened. USC basically tampered with the team. Them and Lincoln Riley tampered with Oklahoma's team before he even left to go to USC. And the rest is history. They got the best matchups for each week in here if you decide to buy this magazine. Turn on through these pages, launching the salary cap era. That's another topic for another day. And now we got OU Squiggly Line Boomer, Squiggly Line Sooners in the house. He's also a member of the Outlaw Posse. He says, "What's up, Posse? Nothing much, my brother. Just coming here, trying to hang out with my fellow college football fans. Anything y'all want to talk about, and if you want to be on the show, just hit me up in on Twitter at OCF Productions, or just tell me right here in the comment section. And if I know you and you've been in here a few times, and I know you're not a troll, we'll make it happen. I'll get you on the show right now. Just say the word. Just say the word." As the great Val Kilmer said, as from Tombstone, just say when, right? Just say when, and I'll let you on here if I don't think you're spastic. Some of these people in here, sometimes people come here, man, you can just tell they'll be trouble if you got them on here. Fred Begley has his badge, as I said before, he's deputized. I would say it would happen on how and why they get the 7 wins. Yeah, that's true. If they start out rough and go 2-3 and then end up 7-6, that may look like progression to some. So that is a good point. They got college football changes for 2025. It says it looks like there won't be any immediate changes in the 12-team playoff, although officials went into the summer still discussing possible adjustments to awarding byes. We already know what happened there. They have decided to just give the byes to the top 4 teams instead of some stupid conference championship or shit they did last year. They basically screwed the whole thing up. I mean, I don't see how they botched this, man. It's easy. It don't matter how many teams you put in the playoffs, man. 4, 8, 16, 24, 32. Just put the best in. The best. All this crap about deserving and best is 2 different things. It's not. If you're the best, you deserve it. And that's the way it should be. They should go back, as I said, thousands of times. Everybody bitches about how the BCS was back in the day. And the only reason people didn't like the BCS is because the BCS didn't have but 2 teams to pick from. So you was going to piss off a lot of people. If the BCS had been afforded the opportunity to have more teams to pick from, like 4 teams, the BCS would have got it probably right at least 90% of the time. If you put the BCS formula back in place, you won't have these biased 13-member committee things they have every year. If you want a human element in it, all you got to do is add the AP poll and the coaches poll in with the BCS formula, and then you'll have your human element that you want to have in there, just in case there's some extenuating circumstances that computers can't read. But the way they go about it, man, it's like they intentionally try to piss people off and screw it up. It take the best 12 teams by some kind of more unbiased formula other than 13 humans. Take those 12 best teams from a BCS type formula and put them in the playoff, man. Don't matter how many teams it is from a conference. If there's 7 teams from the Big 10 or the SEC or the Big 12 or the ACC, if they have 7 teams that are more deserving than any other teams in America, then they should get 7 teams in. That's all I'm saying. It's so freaking easy that it just infuriates the common Joes in here and the Sallies, because that's where we are. That's what we are. We're the common Joes and Sallies in the know, even more so than all those media talking heads. Everybody likes it when I say that mantra. That's our old school mantra. Back when this channel first started. All right, Josh Denton is in the house. If y'all don't mind, jump out, smash the like button, and then if you don't mind, you can also share it to a few of your friends and get this party bigger and more crunk. Also, subscribe to the channel. Josh Denton's in the house. Josh Denton has his badge. He's deputized. He says, exactly, just putting the best teams in. Yeah, all this crap about, well, they're the best, but they're more deserving. It's semantics, man. Y'all just mincing words. It means the same damn thing. You can lie and you can try to twist it and debate it and try to rile me up, which it does. I'll be wanting to choke the hell out of people that do that shit. Oh, they're the best, but they're more deserving. It's the same thing, man. That's like someone saying, my name's Jesse and my name's Paul. That's my name, Jesse Paul Clark. All right. Josh Denton has another comment. Josh Denton says they can't do it that would be too perfect. Exactly. It's just like the political landscape. They can't just, make things easy when you're voting. They got to have these two parties that are both corrupt. And I'm not going to get in a tangent about politics too much because people always get their panties wet and wet their diaper and lose their noodle when I start talking politics, even though they drag it into the sports usually first, and I just give my opinion. But I'll leave it at this. We definitely need more than two parties, or we need no parties at all, because party label loyalty makes for corrupt loyalty, and I'll leave it at that. All right, Heisman Watch. Y'all want to hear the Heisman Watch predictions here for Lindys Magazine? Do you? Well, do you? Can y'all guess who the number one Heisman contender is? I bet you can. Oklahoma people probably ain't going to want to say it. Who do y'all think, by Lindys Magazine, right here, who do y'all think Lindys has as the number one candidate for Heisman Trophy? Waiting on y'all. Well, we'll go ahead and give it away. Y'all probably already know anyway. Number one is Arch Manning. Let's see. Yep, see? Ding, ding, ding. Josh Denton got it right. First up, out the park. Josh Denton slammed it out of the park. Not very hard to guess that, right? Can you guess who the number two? This one's a little bit harder, probably. Who do you think is the second highest ranking Heisman candidate according to Lindys Magazine? Think you can guess that one? I'll give you a hint. It plays for an SEC school. It ain't Arch Manning. That's what I already said, Arch. Garrett Nussmeier is number two. That surprised me. Garrett Nussmeier is a decent quarterback, but I did not think he would be a Heisman Trophy contending quarterback. As a matter of fact, I thought he graduated, but I guess not. It says here that Garrett Nussmeier cut down on turnovers late last season, which was the need to see efficiency piece to go with his 4,052 yards passing and 29 touchdowns in his first full season as a Tiger starter. Second-year LSU quarterbacks have been a good bet recently with Joe Burrow and Jaden Daniels. Both, didn't Joe Burrow win the Heisman Trophy too? So they're saying that this is Garrett's second year, and usually second-year quarterbacks at LSU do rather well. Their number three is Cade Klubnik, quarterback of Clemson. Kevron Harris will be happy to hear that. The third highest Heisman candidate according to Lindys is Cade Klubnik of Clemson. The number four is Jeremiah Smith, wide receiver of Ohio State. He is the one of only these, I think it's the top 10. 8 of the top 10 are quarterbacks. That's another thing the Heisman's going to have to do. We're going to take them seriously as giving this award to the most valuable player overall. They need to start giving it to more than just quarterbacks and running backs for the most part. Now, they have mixed it up and given it to wide receivers in the past, but for the most part, it's a quarterback running back award. And to be honest, it's really a quarterback award. So if it's going to be for the best player, then you need to start being a little more serious about it and give it to a defensive player every once in a while. I'm not saying you got to do it a lot, but every once in a while, show us that you are sincere about giving it to the best overall player, not just the best quarterback. But Jeremiah Smith is one of the few that are not quarterbacks in the top 10. He's a wide receiver at Ohio State, and he is the fourth highest Heisman candidate. Number 5 is Drew Aller, whatever, quarterback at Penn State. He's number 5, according to Lindys. Number 6 is Lenore Sellers of South Carolina. He is the 6th highest Heisman candidate. The 7th highest Heisman candidate is DJ Lagway, quarterback of Florida, followed by Dante Moore, quarterback of Oregon, Julian Sayin, quarterback at Ohio State, and Jeremiah Love, running back of Notre Dame. So who do y'all think they missed on that? Is there somebody that should be in the top 10 that they didn't put in there? Y'all tell me. Y'all drop it in the comment section. Josh Denton says he played pretty good against OU. I was hoping we would put him out of the game. Damn. Josh Denton wanting wanting to scalp a man. You want to take him out. Man, you got some Cherokee, Choctaw, something in you, boy. You want to try a Choctaw scalp a man. Josh didn't want to put him out of the game. All right. Coaches with tenure is another topic they got in here. And this might be the last one I touch on. And then tomorrow I might be doing a top 25 reveal, the Lindys top 25 reveal, and then y'all can give me your top 25, or if you want to make it something a little bit easier and a little bit shorter, I'll just get everybody's top 5 predictions. But coaches with tenure is a good little topic here. It gives you a little rundown of who's got them, been there the longest, and maybe some people that stayed too long. Like Kirk Ferentz, he's the guy with the top coach's tenure at Iowa. He's 69 years old. He's in his 27th season. He has a record of 204, 124. He has a 62% winning percentage. I think that Kirk Ferentz is very much overrated. Although I will say Iowa is probably a tough place to win. It's not exactly on many people's calendar as far as a destination place going to play college football or even go on a vacation. Mike Gundy has the second most tenure. That's surprising. Well, it's Oklahoma State. It's Okie Pokey Chokey State. And they accept mediocrity, obviously, because he's like, what was he against Oklahoma? 3-15 or something, 4-15. It's pretty bad. If he'd been anywhere else like Alabama or Oklahoma or Michigan or Ohio State or numerous other blue blood programs, and they were losing to their chief rival 15 out of 18 times, Mike Gundy would have been fired at any of those places within 4 or 5 years. Tennessee, for example, lost to Alabama 16 years in a row. And they went through like 3 or 4 coaches, didn't they? At least 3. The third coach with the most tenure is Kyle Whittingham of Utah. He's 65 years old, and this is his 21st season. By the way, Mike Gundy, going back to him for a second, his record overall is 169-88. That's a 65% winning percentage. Like I said, if he was anywhere else, his ass to be fired. Kyle Whittingham, 65 years old. He has a record of 167-86. That's a 66% winning percentage. Troy Calhoun of Air Force is 58 years old. He's in his 19th season at Air Force. He is 135-89 overall. It's a 60%. All these guys are not even 70%, and they're keeping their jobs. But it's because there are places that don't expect you to win championships every year. And lots of times coaches can get jobs there and make a very prosperous living and not have to worry about all the stress of going to one of these blue bloods. You can't really blame them. I mean, back in the day, I was looking at Suge Jordan's record at Auburn. He was supposed to be one of their legends, but the guy only won one national championship, and I think he was there like 20 to 25 years and had numerous 6-5s and 7-4 seasons, but he kept his job. Just goes to show you how spoiled a lot of boosters and fans are these days, and that they think that everybody thinks their team should be winning a national championship at least every 2 or 3 years. And it just don't work like that. Now, Alabama and Nick Saban did have a run where they were sort of doing that, but that's an anomaly in college football history. It's something that had never been done until this day, so it probably will never be done again. Well, who knows? So what we got on here also in Dabo Swinney of Clemson. He's 55. He has 18 years of tenure, so he's 180-47. He has a 79% winning percentage. That's almost 80%. So people that have been on Dabo pretty hard, and sometimes I do make fun of him every once in a while, even though he's an Alabama graduate. A lot of people like to give Dabo hell, because he's a real religious guy, and he didn't want to adhere to the transfer portal, and he said a few controversial things about players getting paid. The man has won 79% of these games. He won 2 national championships at Clemson. So chill out, man. If you get rid of Dabo Swinney, man, just remember, the last time you got rid of an Alabama graduate, that being Danny Ford, who won their first national title. There's your little history nugget if you want to know something. Clemson's first national title and only national title up until Dabo Swinney was under Danny Ford, who was also an Alabama graduate. He ended up getting on probation and getting fired. But they won the national championship in 1981. And they didn't win another one after they fired him until Dabo Swinney. So fire Dabo Swinney at your own risk. He's won 2 national titles at Clemson, which is more than any Clemson coach in Clemson history, going all the way back to 1892. So just saying, I wouldn't fire Dabo, but hey, y'all do you. But yeah, that's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's top 5 tenured coaches. You probably don't want to hear no more. If you do, just drop in the comment section. Let me know what you want to hear. Y'all want to hear any schedules on here? I got the list of schedules right here. Y'all want to hear who's playing who? We can talk about that right now. Just let me know in the comment section. This is a pretty nice magazine. It goes in depth on everything. You can see right here, a lot of in-depth coverage on each and every college football team. I suggest y'all go get one of these. I used to get an Lindys Magazine, but yeah, they went up to $17.99. This one's on $12.99, and it's got the same content and the same quality. It'd be different if this was not a very good magazine, but it is. Plus, it smells good. I love the smell of new magazines. Feel like I'm back in high school again, smelling that new book or new paper. And they got a section right here. It's called Looking Back, 5, 10, 15 years. What happened? It says 5 years ago today in 2020. The final AP top 5 poll 5 years ago was number 1, Alabama, number 2, Ohio State, number 3, Clemson, number 4, Texas A&M, and number 5 was Notre Dame. Heisman Trophy winners from 5 years ago was Devontae Smith, wide receiver of Alabama, followed by Trevor Lawrence at number 2, Mac Jones of Alabama, number 3. Number 4, Kyle Trask of Florida, and Najee Harris comes in at number 5. Alabama had 3 players in the top 5 that year in the Heisman Trophy. 10 years ago today, backing up 10 years now, a little bit of the same. Hate to rub it in, but 10 years ago today, in 2015, number 1 was Alabama, number 2, Clemson, number 3, Stanford, number 4, Ohio State, and number 5 was the Oklahoma Sooners. That was your top 5 10 years ago in 2015. The Heisman Trophy winner was an Alabama player, Derrick Henry, running back Alabama, followed by Christian McCaffrey, running back Stanford, Deshaun Watson, quarterback Clemson, Baker Mayfield, quarterback Oklahoma, and Keenan Reynolds, quarterback Navy. Wow, I didn't know Keenan Reynolds finished in the top 5. That's something. 15 years ago today, you got 1989 M in the house. Gentlemen, I'm late tonight, but it's an honor to share chat with you all, Outlaw Posse. Yeah, I just actually went over some Michigan stuff. Y'all got a few big recruits, man. And then we also touched on the fact that skeletons keep coming out of the closet of the Jim Harbaugh regime. I think one of your offensive coaches was caught up in looking at some private pictures of players and their girlfriends or something and hacking into their internet accounts. And Harbaugh knew about it. So the skeletons in Harbaugh's closet continue to come out, and a lot of Michigan people are not very happy with what Harbaugh done while he was here, other than winning a national championship, which was a big-time thing, but a lot of shady stuff's coming out about Jim Harbaugh. So it might be a good thing and a great thing that Jim Harbaugh did leave. Y'all may actually be in better shape long term. Now, Sharon may not be the answer right now, but long term, I can foresee Michigan probably moving on from Sharon and hiring somebody that Michigan people deserve to have and putting y'all back in the national championship contention. And keeping Ohio State in their place. Michigan surprisingly has beaten Ohio State 4 years in a row. Michigan's probably the only team in history that beat Alabama and Ohio State in the same year to end the season. So it's a program that it's on the cusp of being right back where they were, in my opinion, with Michigan. All right, now it says 15 years ago today, which was 2010, the final AP top 5 was Auburn. Number 2 was TCU. Number 3 was Oregon. Number 4 was Stanford. And number 5 was Ohio State. All right. And the Heisman Trophy, top 5, 2010, 15 years ago. They're doing this in intervals of 5 years. You just came in here. Cam Newton was number 1. I hate Cam Newton with a passion. Scam Newton's what we used to call him. Andrew Luck was number 2. LaMichael James was number 3 at Oregon. Keelan Moore, quarterback of Boise State, was number 4. And Justin Blackman, wide receiver for those Okie Pokey Chokey states, was number 5. 20 years ago today, 2005, final AP top 5 poll, number 1 was Texas. The old long turds. It's been a while, but it looks like Texas may finally be back. I mean, I'm not a big Texas fan, but hey, they did win the Big 12 Conference Championship before they left there. So they did win a championship. And they've been in the playoff the last 2 years. So it's according to your definition of being back. If it means winning a national championship, I think that might be a little unfair because winning a national championship is usually a rare thing. Like I said, I know Alabama, Nick Saban done it a lot. But to me, I think that was probably something that's probably not going to happen again for a while. Could be wrong, but I don't think it will. Like I said, 20 years ago today, number 1 was Texas. Number 2, USC, which I still think to this day that was probably one of the best national championship games I ever watched when Texas beat USC. I was actually rooting for Texas in that game, I will not lie, because I cannot stand USC. Everybody knows that. I haven't liked USC since day one. I do not like the Skittle Shitters. Never have. But number 2 was USC that year. Number 3, Penn State. Number 4, Ohio State. And number 5 was West Virginia, the Mountaineers, by the way. I think that year West Virginia was in – no, that's not the same year. It was 2007. Heisman Trophy, top 5, 20 years ago today, was Reggie Bush of USC, Vince Young, quarterback at Texas, Matt Leinart, quarterback USC, Brady Quinn, quarterback at Notre Dame, and number 5 was Michael Robinson, quarterback of Penn State. All right, so let's go back 25 years ago. Number 1, year 2000, the Oklahoma Sooners, baby. Boomer Sooner was the national champions to start off this century. Number 1 was Oklahoma. Number 2 was Miami. Number 3 was Washington. Number 4 was Oregon State. And number 5 was Florida State. 25 years ago today. Heisman Trophy, top 5. Number 1 was Chris Winkie, who was like 72 years old. He was old as hell, man. Still in college. He was seriously, I think he was about 27 or 28. Josh Heupel was number 2, quarterback Oklahoma. Number 3 was Drew Brees, quarterback Purdue. Number 4 was LaDainian Tomlinson, running back TCU. And number 5 was Damian Anderson, running back Northwestern. Now, they didn't go 5 years on this one. They went every 5 years up until now. Now they're going back 50 years ago today. They jumped from 25 to 50, so that's a 25-year jump. Y'all like the history class so far? All right, 50 years ago today, 1975, number 1, guess who it was again? Oklahoma. The 2 Crimson Nations have 4 national championships, and this look back. Heck, just goes to show you, man, there's something about that crimson, man, not just red. Crimson, the best version of red, blood red, tough red. Number 1 in 1975, 25 years ago today, like I said, was the Oklahoma Sooners. Number 2 was the Arizona State Sun Devils. Number 3, Alabama Crimson Tide. Number 4 was Ohio State. And number 5 was UCLA. Now, the top 5 Heisman Trophy vote getters 50 years ago today, the winner was Archie Griffin, running back Ohio State. Number 2 was Chuck Muncie, running back California. Number 3 was Ricky Bell, running back USC. Number 4 was Tony Dorsett, running back Pittsburgh. And number 5 was Joe Washington, running back of Oklahoma. And that was a look back in college football historically from Lindys Magazine. Y'all go out and get you one. Call it at least one of the Bibles of college football. It used to be Athens, but Athens, like I said, priced me out. No, it's just $5, man, but it's just the principle of the matter. So let's just go ahead and get the Four Horsemen shout-outs. Let's get them out of the way, too. We got a few people I want to give a shout-out to. And if y'all have any questions, if y'all want to talk about anything college football related, drop in the comment section, and I'll answer any question that you have right now. But the random Four Horsemen shout-outs go to Tammy Burton, Richard Burton, Tim Gillespie, and Brad Friend. We're mounted up and saddled up and ready to go for today's college football live stream invasion. If you want to get your badge and get deputized and get a random Four Horsemen shout-out like they just did, as well as possibly the comment of the day, you can join the Outlaw Posse for $2.99 a month. That's just 75 cents a week. That's just a half a bottle of water for the Outlaws. A little join button over by the subscribe button. If you can't do all that, that's fine. But please like, share, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Those are the big four, and they're all absolutely free, especially subscribing. It gets the party bigger, gets it more crunk, keeps me in the good graces of the YouTube algorithm. So that's the rundown of the recruiting this week from Hayes Faucet, as well as some tidbits from the Lindys College Football Magazine. Now, tomorrow I'm going to do a college football top 25 reveal. I'm going to get the Lindys, and I'm going to show you who they are predicting to be in the top 25 tomorrow. I'm going to start from number 25 and go up to number 1. With that, I'm out of here. KMCA to all the other teams. Class is now officially dismissed.